This is the ultimate end result of ferro rod use evolution. I've been using ferro rods since the 1980s. So what we've got is a full handle and a bolster on the ferro rod. And we have a ferro scraper, which is a full tang, and you can get your entire hand on it. Pretty often when you get a ferro rod, it comes with a scraper, and the scraper is usually just a little chunk of hacksaw blade. The reason being a high carbon is going to have a high hardness, but you can't really get a good grip on these, especially if your fingers are cold and wet, and that's when you're really going to need to start a fire. Now, I know a lot of people use the 90-degree spine on their knife. This is a Hultafors knife, which I've put a 90-degree spine on the grinder. But the problem with that is safety. A lot of times I just use the edge of the knife on the ferro rod, and people will say, oh, that's going to make your knife dull. If your life depends on getting a fire started, you're not going to care about dulling your knife. And to be honest with you, it really doesn't significantly dull your knife anyway. So you're going to want to get a full grip on your ferro rod. So what I've done is I've gotten these, I think they're Baylite ferro rods. I get them on Amazon. I drill the right size hole and epoxy it in, and then I take a piece of, this is a 3/4 inch copper pipe. I use it as a bolster because you're putting leverage on the rod and it will split the wood. So the ferro rod only comes down to about here where my thumbnail is. Ferro scraper is made almost identically to the way that I will make a knife, like a kind of a heavy-duty bushcraft knife. So I got a slab of 1095 steel, and I heat treated it, and I put oak handle scales. So I take this on the grinder and the sander, and I make it a 90-degree spine all the way around. I round off these corners a little bit so that they're not too scratchy. Now, I started making these because I was teaching bushcraft to 7th and 8th graders, and I didn't want to hand them a knife with a sharp edge on it, and I didn't want to hand them a little tiny piece of a hacksaw blade and have them not meet with success in getting a ferro sparks. But then I realized that this is really a good idea, especially in the winter when your hands are cold and wet. Yeah, it's a little bulky to carry around, but it's well worth it when you think about how important it is for survival to get a fire started.